Hello artists, for this project we are going to be making an aquarium. We are going to be using perspective in our art to show a three-dimensional space so it looks like you are actually walking in a hallway of an aquarium. To get started, you are going to need to have some paper, pencil, something dark to outline your picture in, something to color with, and a straight edge. A straight edge is something like a ruler or a folder or notebook with one side that is even and has a straight side to it. We are going to be using this straight edge to make straight lines in our project. What we're going to do is we're going to take our pencil and our straight edge and we are going to make an X across our paper using the four corners. I'm going to start by laying my straight edge, lining it up from corner to corner, and tracing across. I'm pressing lightly just in case I need to erase any of my lines. There's one side of my X. Now it's time to do the other. This part of my X is going to be my floor. I want to really create a sense of depth or perspective by creating a checkered floor layout like tiles. I'm going to use my straight edge and I'm going to put horizontal lines going from side to side, starting them out pretty close together. But as I get closer to my own body, I'm going to space them out more and more. When things are close to us, they appear bigger, and things that are further away appear smaller. This is how we're going to create that sense of perspective or depth. Next, we're going to make lines that look like they are coming towards us, but each line is going to meet right at the center. I'm going to start with one coming straight down. Then I'm going to tilt my straight edge, keeping one point at the center and space apart at the bottom. And tilt it again. Can you see how it's starting to look like a tile floor going back into space? It helps to check every once in a while to make sure that you are putting your lines exactly where you want them to be. And there is my tiled floor. Once I start coloring, I'm going to color this like a checkerboard, just to keep that contrast and keep it interesting looking. Now that I have my flooring, I'm going to work on the glass walls and ceiling of my aquarium. I want to make it look like I'm walking down the hallway and everywhere I look is under the sea. I'm going to start with these little spots right here. Do you see where your vertical lines will go? They will line up where our horizontal lines end and touch the diagonal. Each spot where it touches the diagonal, I'm going to create a vertical line. One here, one here, one here, And don't worry if I'm going too fast for you. You will be able to pause the video or go back and repeat some of my directions. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure as you're working that your straight edge is still making a vertical line and not something crooked where it's going to be looking wonky. Okay. I'm going to put my straight edge to the side, and for each one of these little, I'm going to say squares, we are going to round off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and for my last one, that curve would go right off the top of the paper. There's no reason to try and squeeze it in. I would rather it look more realistic than trying to get it to fit. Okay. For my next step, I am going to start thinking about what types of creatures I'm going to draw. You can put absolutely anything you would like inside of your aquarium. You could do schools of fish, sea turtles, whales, sharks. You can add mermaids, divers, anything you want to put. That's up to you as the artist. I am going to fast forward through some of my designs so you could see what I would put. And I'm also going to fast forward through Sharpieing. Let's see what you come up with. Here is my outlined drawing. My composition includes the hallway with the checkered floor, some coral reef, starfish, a little school of fish, bubbles, sea turtles, different types of kelp and seaweed, some jellyfish, and bubbles to kind of fill in some empty spaces. I feel that I left plenty of empty space so that it's not overly complicated, but I also gave plenty of details for whoever looks at my artwork to appreciate. Before I erase all of my pencil lines to clean up my artwork, I'm going to use my black Sharpie, which is what I use to trace over everything, to create the checkerboard. Now, sometimes when we rush through our artwork, we can make mistakes with a checkerboard. So it's really important that we slow down and pay attention to what we do. What you should do is start with a row. I'm going to start with this one right here. And you are going to create a pattern. Now, I'm going to do black and white for the sake of the checkerboard. But once you add all the black spaces, you can use whatever colors you would want for the white spaces. But to do this, you are going to start all the way to the left in that one row and color in one black space. You're going to skip, color the next one. Skip, color the next one. It's really important to not get distracted by other people in the room or with other objects around you like the computer or a phone or anything. Once you make a mistake, you're not going to be able to undo it. Next, I'm going to jump down to my next row, and instead of coloring the same one underneath, I need to skip and start with the next one. And you'll know it's the right one because its side will be touching a white space. I'm going to continue with my pattern through fast forward. That way you can see what it will look like when you take your time and complete it. Now that I've finished neatly coloring the black parts of my checkerboard, I'm going to take my pencil and go through and erase any pencil lines that are still showing. It's really important as an artist that if we're looking to make things look nice, we need to keep them neat. Erasing pencil lines will keep the graphite from your pencil from mixing in with some of your colors. Have you ever used a yellow marker or maybe some paint and all of a sudden it looked really gray when you colored over something? That's because the graphite, which is soft, mixes in with that wet medium that you use. Once your work is cleaned up, everything is outlined, and you drew all the details you will be including in your picture, you are free to add the colors that you wish. You can use any medium you like, such as crayons, markers, colored pencils, or paint. You can even use a combination of more than one. I will use crayons to color my picture. I'm also going to think about all the different techniques that we've been learning about. We've practiced blending colors together, adding value with lights, mediums, and darks, and burnishing, which is when you use crayon or colored pencil and color hard and quickly within a certain area to really heat up that wax and make it shiny and blend together. Every time you use those techniques from lesson to lesson, you become a stronger artist and your artwork gets better and better. So let's take this time to color in our pictures, add whatever details we want to add finishing touches so that we can share our work together. I look forward to seeing your pictures and can't wait to see you again soon.